Love is what's left over when falling in love fades away. And this is about balancing your desire for love with feelings of not having enough love. Two quotes, one from Rabindranath Tagore, the great Indian poet, quote, "He who comes to do good knocks at the gate. He who loves finds the gate open," unquote. And from D.H. Lawrence, quote, "Those that go searching for love only make manifest their own lovelessness, and the loveless never find love, only the loving find love, and they never have to seek for it," unquote. Love is something that we desire, and why not? The more love we receive, the more we feel loved, and the better we feel. Feeling good, or feeling God, is feeling balanced and in perfect harmony with our source of being. Obviously, then, one of our highest and most fervent wishes is to be the recipient of an endless flow of love. So what creates this huge imbalance between what we desire and how we feel? There's irony involved in the correction of this imbalance, and the observation of D.H. Lawrence in the opener spells it out perfectly. As with all of the major imbalances I've spoken about in this program, rebalancing always involves an energy realignment that isn't achieved simply by memorizing strategies or by adopting new behaviors. Rather, it's essential to know what kind of vibrational energy patterns you're sending to your desires. In this case, your desire is to feel good by having as much love in your life as you can balance. This can't be accomplished by demanding it or by seeking it from outside of yourself. The key part of the quotation from D.H. Lawrence is, "Only the loving find love, and they never have to seek for it." Later in this chapter, I'll return to these significant words. However, before looking at ways to implement this concept into your life, I want to explore D.H. Lawrence's assertion that the loveless never find love. If there's too little love, does that mean, at least in Lawrence's interpretation, that we're loveless? Let's examine this notion. The loveless factor in this imbalance. If you're not receiving the love you desire, it seems like a pretty good idea to explore what's creating this state. Obviously, most of us want to place the blame for lovelessness on something external to ourselves. That's a waste of time and energy. But it often feels good because blame seems to alleviate the pain, even if only briefly. However, blame energy only helps you remain out of balance, whether you're blaming yourself or someone else. Being in balance is centered around the premise that you receive in life what you're aligned with. By now, you must have heard it enough times as you listen to this program to know that I mean that you get what you think about. While you may justify your loveless state with thoughts of being unappreciated or choose to see the whole world as an unloving place, the fact remains that you're experiencing the imbalance of not feeling good because you don't have enough love in your life. Waiting for others to change or for some kind of shift to take place in the world to restore you to balance won't work without your commitment to take responsibility for changing your way of thinking. If that's left to others, you'll turn the controls of your life over to someone or something outside of you, and that's a prescription for disaster. The point I want to emphasize here is that if feelings of being shortchanged in the love dimension are a part of your life, then it's because you've aligned your thoughts and behaviors with lovelessness. How do you do that? By failing to match your desire for love with thoughts that harmonize with this powerful desire. For example, quote, "I've never been able to sustain a loving relationship. I'm not really attractive enough to have someone love me in the way that I want to be loved. People are cruel and take advantage of me. I see hostility and anger everywhere. This is an uncaring world with a shortage of love," unquote. All of these thoughts and others like them create a point of attraction that's way, way out of balance with a desire to receive abundant love. You attract into your life precisely what you're thinking about, and you've inadvertently joined Club Loveless with a membership that includes a majority of the entire population. That is, people who feel shortchanged about the amount of love that's failing to pour into their empty hearts. All of this is reversible by shifting your alignment and removing the resistance to the fulfillment of your desire for love. You begin by ending your search for love. I say it again. You begin by ending your search for love. No more searching. So what does the poet mean by "those that go searching for love only make manifest their own lovelessness"? Well, when you seek something, you feel that what you're striving for is missing from your life. If it's love, for example, then what you're really saying is, "I'm experiencing lovelessness, and in my seeking, I hope to fill this void." But the problem with this approach is that rather than filling the love void, it only puts you further out of balance, and lovelessness continues to be your experience. Why? Because you're weighted more in lovelessness than in lovingness. Your thoughts are focused on finding what's missing, while your desire is for love to flow into your life. This kind of misalignment continues to attract more of what's missing. What you're thinking about is the love that's not there. The universe cooperates by matching up vibrationally with precisely what you're thinking about. How does the universe know to do this? Well, it's merely matching its vibration to your thoughts through the law of attraction. You need to turn off the searchlights and dismiss the search party, and instead replace them with an energy of loving thoughts, an internal knowing about receiving love. You originated from a place of spirit. That's defined by love. When you begin rebalancing your life so that your desire and the way you think and behave are a loving partnership, you'll realize that your desire is really God realization. The longing for love is a longing to become more like God in your thoughts. With this awareness, you soon realize that searching outside of yourself for what you already are is the ultimate folly. No one else can give this to you. As D.H. Lawrence says, the loveless never find love. This is because the loveless are focused on not having what they desire rather than on what they already are. Furthermore, the loveless believe that they're unworthy of the love they desire, and guess what? They continue to attract more evidence of their unworthiness. With the searchlights turned off and the one-person search party given a permanent rest, you can turn your attention to balancing the authentic means at your disposal for receiving abundant love. This, then, is the irony, summed up perfectly in the poet's conclusion that only the loving find love, and they never have to seek for it. Becoming the love. As the title of this chapter suggests, my definition of love goes beyond the admittedly delicious lust and excitement that you experience when you first become infatuated. Ultimately, these inflamed passions fade away, and what remains is authentic love, or the balance you're seeking. And what is a prime example of this? It is to love as God does, to extend the caring that defines your very creation outward whenever and wherever possible. Love of this nature leads you to forget about your own ego and want what you desire for yourself even more for another. This is how the act of creation seems to work. Your Creator doesn't ask anything from you in exchange for giving you life. It's given freely and abundantly, and no one is excluded. You don't have to repay God for giving you this life, or the air you need in order to live, or the water you drink for your very existence, or the sun that sustains you. Without any of these freely given ingredients, you wouldn't continue to live. This is the love that God offers you. To balance your life with more lovingness, you need to match your thoughts and behaviors with those of your source, being love in the way that God is. This means noticing when you're inclined to judge yourself or others as though you or they are unworthy of love. This means suspending your need to be right in favor of being kind toward yourself and others, and deliberately extending kindness everywhere. This means giving love to yourself and others rather than demanding love. This means your loving gesture of kindness is heartfelt because you feel love flowing from within, not because you want something in return. A tall order? Not really, unless you believe that it's going to be difficult. Lovingness is a feature of your natural state, and your ego isn't part of that state. Ego dominates because you've separated yourself from your God self, the loving self that came here from a place of perfectly divine, unconditional love. You've carried this ego idea of your own self-importance, your need to be right, for so long that you've deluded yourself into believing that the ego self is who you are. Talk about being out of balance. You've opted for a belief in pure illusion. By allowing this illusion to be the dominant force, you've created through your ego-centered self a heavy imbalance in your life. The result is that you want to feel love, the real thing, the love that is the very essence of your being, the love that you are, but you feel emptiness instead of lovingness. Why is this so? Because the emptiness can only be filled with love by opening your heart connection to the spirit of love that originates you know not where, but can be felt within you. It's your empty space, no one else's. Therefore, only you can fill it. Your objective is to ask love within you to make its presence known, to have an awareness of being so full of love that this is what you have to give away. That's all you have to do, ask and receive. By doing just that, you'll attract more of what you're giving away. You can only give away what you have inside. The restoration of this imbalance is dependent upon your willingness to reconnect to your source of being and become an instrument of love. You must vow, from this moment forward, to see yourself exclusively in loving terms, and to invite love to accompany you 24/7. Here's an affirmation to help keep you on this path. Holy Spirit, guide me now. This simple, powerful statement aligns you with love. Self-contempt or self-rejection cannot distort your balance. You only have love to give away. When you give contempt or rejection to yourself or others, you're a vibrational match to these energies, and they'll continue to appear in your life. Many people blame others or an unloving, uncaring world for the lack of love they're receiving in comparison to what they desire. Any disparity that exists between the love you desire and what you actually receive is a mirror image, a reflection of what you're thinking. Give away hate and you receive hate. Give away love and it has to come streaming into your life. Imagine a container the size of your heart. This container is the sole source of all thoughts. Whenever you think something, you must go to this container, select a thought, and send it out into the world. Using this metaphor, the real issue isn't about simply selecting positive, loving thoughts and having your world shift back into balance. The real issue is what's in the container. That is, what's in the heart reservoir you have inside of you to give to others. This container within is connected to an endless supply of love. You need only turn your thoughts to that source to be filled with love. Love for yourself, love for the world, love for life, love for all others, and most significantly, love for your source of being. Then this is all that you'll have available to give away, and consequently, all that returns to you. It's been said that the difference between all of us living at ordinary levels of human consciousness and those we call saints is that they never forget God even for a single moment. They're cheerful when life is difficult, patient when others are impatient, and loving when others respond with hatred. Why? Because of that container. Ordinary people have a container out of which they pluck loving thoughts in certain circumstances. The saint has an internal vessel that contains nothing else out of which and into which love flows freely. So rather than working on simply changing your thoughts in order to become more peaceful and loving, why not shoot for the moon and think like the saint that you are? Focus on that container within. When you continually say, Holy Spirit, guide me now, you'll see your container overflowing with so many loving thoughts that it's impossible for negativity in any form to alter the balance within. What love looks like through the eyes of a child. Here are some jewels describing what love is from the perspective of a group of 4 to 8-year-olds. As you work to reset the love balance beam of your life, consider these refreshing thoughts on what love is. 1. When someone loves you, the way they say your name is different. You just know your name is safe in their mouth. 2. Love is when you go out to eat and give somebody most of your French fries without making them give you any of theirs. 3. Love is when my daddy makes coffee for my mommy and he takes a sip before giving it to her to make sure the taste is okay. 4. Love is when mommy gives daddy the best piece of chicken. 5. During my piano recital, I was on stage and I was scared. I looked at all the people watching me and saw my daddy waving and smiling. He was the only one. I wasn't scared anymore. And my favorite. Love is what's in the room with you at Christmas if you stop opening presents and listen. There you have it. Look within and around. Listen. Love is what's left over when falling in love fades away, because love is an endless source. Give it away. Share your French fries. Give someone the best piece of chicken. Wave and smile to the universe, and you'll soon know what Victor Hugo meant when he observed, love is the reduction of the universe to a single being. Not only is love what's left over when falling in love fades away, but love defines the source from which we came. Elizabeth Barrett Browning poetically describes the end of life as a return to pure love. She says it this way, "Guess now who holds thee? Death, I said, but there the silver answer rang, not death, but love." And so it seems that love is truly all that's left over when this body falls away as well.